Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna talk about Daredevil Born Again Season 1 Episode 9, Straight to Hell. Alright, so this video will be sectioned into two sections. I will put them in the timestamps. If you want to skip one of the two, I may be able to be of service to you there. First of all, I'm going to talk about the episode filled with spoilers, and afterwards I'm going to talk about the series in and of itself. It's also some kind of series review that I'm doing in this one because it's the final episode of the season, of course. So let's get straight into it with my episode reaction. And I have to say, holy shit, this was a step up again from the lesser episodes in the middle of the season to the great episodes from the beginning, the lesser in the middle, and then it's got great again towards the end. I know, of course, last week I said, I have no fucking clue how they are gonna do this with him being shot at, of course. And I didn't expect it to be this way. I did know that Frank Castle was coming back because we've seen him with the up hair and the no beard, so I knew he was coming back, and he also was in the poster for this episode, or he was heavily featured in the previously on and then some of the stills for this, so I knew he would be coming back. What came to a total surprise to me were quite a few things. First of all, Karen Page, she's back, and it's like never anything ever happens, which was quite weird because I expected there to be some more trouble between Matt and Karen, especially after where they left off in episode 1. But all seems to be good. There's still a heavy loss in between them, which is of course still Foggy Nelson, and I do think this episode kind of confirms that he is actually dead. So I do think if they do choose to bring him back somehow for season 2 because of some of the hints that they dropped in some of the comic book storyline references, I do think that will break down certain parts from this season, so I do hope that they will leave him dead. I'm sorry, I do hope that they're not bringing him back. But, talking about the episode itself, Karen Page is back, and it is like never anything ever happened. So all is good, all is fine, all is lovely. We all love a good storyline. So that is really, really awesome. One other thing I did not expect was the city-wide fucking purge that happened. Where the hell did that come from? Okay, of course, the mayor was trying to be assassinated, but Jesus Christ, an entire city fell into chaos because of that. Yeah, that was crazy. The only thing I did not expect, and I did think was quite a bummer, is that after that intro sequence, we did not see Poindexter back. We only talked about him, but we never saw him back until the very, very end of the episode, which was something interesting because he is the one that orchestrated actually the entire city downfall of the night. Just something I noticed, just something I thought was interesting. Maybe he was cut out of certain parts. Maybe he didn't serve a bigger purpose in the story of this episode or of this season. I have no clue, but well, it happened. One other thing that I didn't expect, what is my absolute favorite point of the series, my absolute favorite points, apart from some of the fight scenes with Muse, apart from the way they handled that story. I still do think that is a little bummer, but talking about the fight scenes, they were great. Well, Wilson Fisk, Mayor Fisk, is actually Mayor Kingpin. That's something that I kind of expected to happen, but in the way that they did it, and the way that he used these activities that were against him towards his progression to make him better, beautifully done. I loved that. I loved how they handled it. I loved how they did it. I loved how Kingpin reacted to some of the things, and I have to say, and it counts for both Matt Murdock as it does for Wilson Fisk. If you consider everything from the Daredevil show, from Defenders, from any time we've seen Daredevil up until this point, I do genuinely think that I have never seen the Kingpin or Matt Murdock be this terrifying whatsoever. In the end of this episode, they both genuinely are fucked up terrifying, especially Kingpin, because that man now literally has the law in his hands and can do whatever the hell he fucking wants. So that's pretty damn fucking scary. But we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it takes us. One other thing that I did not expect that I really want to talk about, was genuinely surprised and genuinely impressed by it, was that they just straight up locked up vigilantes. At first I was like, when did they grab Swordsman and lock him up in there? And then I saw some of the other faces I didn't know. And then I saw Frank Castle locked up in that place. And I know that this is what they do to vigilantes now. So please, Tom Holland, watch out. That's something that I am kind of scared for. If you consider the ending of this episode and the martial law being activated in New York City and everything else that went wrong and the curfew from 8 p.m., I do have a feeling, or do have a great freaking interest in where the story might go with Spider-Man 4 and all the other stories set in New York City, like Thunderbolts. Will there be any significance of this series be in Thunderbolts? Thunderbolts playing out in New York City, or at least a part of it, like the Void is coming to New York City. We know that from the trailer, so what's gonna happen with that? I am really interested in seeing where this interconnectivity goes. I really do hope that they fix the interconnectivity of these shows right now, because normally what we have come to notice from from phase 4 and 5 is that you have connections but also not beneficial to the series or not, which is kind of a bummer, which is not what you want to do, which is where a lot of the hate towards the MCU nowadays comes from. So I really do hope that they actually do manage to do something with that. And I'm very interested in seeing where it goes, and if they actually manage to do something and it actually matters what happens, because this is a huge fucking deal within the MCU right now. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be great. Wilson Fisk is one of the most terrifying forces out there now. He's one, you can tell he is some kind of Avengers level threat, but not in a physical strength kind of way, which he actually also still is, but more in the political way. Even more so than the Sokovia Accords, maybe. Now, those were worldwide. This is only New York City, but you know what I mean. It's a very big deal. A very, very big deal. So I'm genuinely excited to see where this goes. And I hope it's something good. I hope it's something worthwhile. So yeah, this episode, it left on some great highs. It had some great questions left to be answered in season 2. It had a great setup for season 2 with the entire ending with him not... I legitimately thought Matt Murdock was gonna uncover himself as Matt Murdock being Daredevil to all of those people that knew him. That didn't happen, but it was just the rebirth of Daredevil. You can definitely say Daredevil is in fact born again, which I genuinely loved. I can't wait for season 2. It's coming out next year, actually. They filmed them back to back, or they're filming season 2 right now, actually, which is insane, which is awesome, and I can't wait to fucking see where this series might go next. So yeah, a great, worthy season finale that I absolutely adored, where there were some great fights and some great talks in this, some great monologues, some great dialogues, some great fucking kills, like Gallo, that shit was gruesome. So yeah, this was just beyond awesome, and this was just the perfect ending I needed for this season, setting up enough for the second part of the season. So I absolutely adored what they did with that. Talking about the series itself, welcome to my series review, non-spoilers. I really do think that this was a genius choice by the creators to revamp the entire series, to make it a sequel to Daredevil, the Netflix series, and the Defenders, and everything from the Defenders saga, basically. I genuinely thought that there was a point in the finale where I thought we saw Jessica Jones' office. That's not a spoiler because it isn't. So I was genuinely thought like, oh, are they gonna do it? But they didn't. So that was genuinely freaking awesome to see. They made it like it's a sequel. Yeah, I do know that it's very sad what happens in the first episode is kind of a punch in the guts if you look at the entire series that we have seen from Daredevil and loved for 10 years now. But I still do think that they went in a complete and unique and nice way in the end with the entire series. And I do think that this might have been one of the best possibilities for them to do. Not the best story that they could have done. I do feel like The middle part of the season is a little lackluster. It's not as good as it was, and some of the storylines didn't really satisfy me as much as I hoped they would, namely the storyline with Muse. I thought that was going to be like my biggest love for the series, and it turned out to be my biggest critique for it, for undisclosed reasons that you will see when you watch the series. Spoilery. If you know it, you know it. So yeah, that was quite interesting in seeing that. The fight scenes were gruesome. It's for a Disney Plus series, and when the trailer first released, that was gruesome to see because holy shit, is Disney Plus actually going that dark? Well, if you thought so in the beginning of the series, and you thought so in the middle of the series, you haven't seen the last episode because holy shit. I don't think I've ever seen this gruesome fighting in the Netflix series of Daredevil. So yeah, Disney Plus made their truth, and Disney Plus actually made a really, really, really well-made follow-up to Daredevil, the Netflix series. And I have to say, the story is not done, and to completely win me over, they have to resolve quite a few storylines still. But I do feel like season 1 is more of like a first part of a two-parter story that we're gonna get told. The original 18 episodes, so to say, instead of only 9 that we now got, including the revamp of the entire series. So I do think, yeah, Daredevil Born Again is awesome. Everyone is incredible in their role, especially Matt Murdock, especially Charlie Cox in that role. He nailed it once again. Wilson Fisk or Vincent D'Onofrio playing that role. He did it with such intensity. He did it with such nice presence and such menacing presence that even though he is now the mayor and tries to be a good guy, you can still feel something is up. You can still feel all the hate and all the things just from the way he acts in certain scenes. The acting is top notch. The entire fight scenes are top notch. Everything is top notch, and this is one epic and great series within the MCU. I do hope that they will acknowledge the existence of this series within their other projects. Like there happened a few things to New York City that might have some repercussions in future projects, namely Thunderbolts playing in New York City, and of course Spider-Man Brave New World coming to play in New York City. I hope so, at least. It's Spider-Man, so it has to. So I do hope that there are some repercussions and they're not just gonna forget about what they did in this season. But we have to see. We have to see. It's genuinely interesting to see where this might go. It was a really ballsy move to make it like this. And it was a really ballsy move to have some of the things that they did happen the way that they did. But I do love when people take risks, and I do love it when people do something that is genuinely heartbreaking or genuinely terrifying. Heartbreaking in the beginning of the series, nice and gritty and powerful in the middle part of the series, and absolutely beyond terrifying in the later end of the series. I do think Daredevil Born Again is a great entry within the MCU, and it's well deserving of a 9 out of 10 if I have to give it a score. Alright, or nah. I do think I hated or I disliked a little bit too much of the series, so let's just call it an 8.5. Let's go for 8.5. Alright, what did you Let's go for 4. Let's go for 4. Perfect. 4 there. 4. That's it. That's what I'm going to give this series. How did you like Daredevil Born Again? Please let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on this. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.